This playthrough is rated E10+.
What a way to start. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with another game, and it's a 4th of July season, and in my nation, what a way to celebrate the birth of it by blowing a piece of it up. So today we're going to play The Death and Return of Superman for as long as I can, based off the famous comic series. The greatest hero of all time, Superman guards Metropolis and the world against all evil forces. I don't know if I want to keep going because it might spoil the rest of the story if I let the pre-title thing roll. But yeah, The Death and Return of Superman is one of the more famous comic book storylines based on Superman because it was the time, well, as you saw in the title, he dies in the spoilers. He dies in a comic book, and it was the first, I think it was the first time a comic book character, I mean, they had died before, but most times they never came back. This is, I think, it may have happened in some smaller comics and stuff like that, like, and they were, specifically, there was a reason that they did that in the first place. But in this case, this was the first case of a major superhero dying and someone coming back, and it kind of broke the rules of life and death in comic books, where now there was no really any rules anymore that they could just come back all willy-nilly, because after this happened, they would bring back heroes all the time, so now death no longer was a thing. So that's one of the reasons I don't like this comic book run, because it changed death and made it just a thing. You know, kind of like how in Dragon Ball, where characters just die and come back, you're like, oh, a character died in a dramatic scene. Oh, well, he'll be back next episode because of the Dragon Balls. Like, why do I need to worry if they can just come back? But this game itself and the comic run it was based off was good for the most part from what I remember. It just, there's a really good YouTube video, I think it is, about the Death and Return of Superman and what it meant for comics in general. I forgot the name of it, but if you look it up, it's like one of the most popular videos on there. So, but anyway, I'll talk about that as we play the game, because there's going to be a lot of just mindless action in this game, because this is this is a beat 'em up action game based in the style of like old Dungeons and Dragons, Final Fight, Double Dragon, stuff like that. And the surprising thing about this game being made by like Sunsoft and Blizzard of all things, Sunsoft was more the publisher part, but Blizzard worked on it. But anyway, let's let the intro roll and I'll talk about it as we play. Metropolis, present day, a peaceful summer evening when suddenly a complete power failure? I guess it's more of an exclamation than a question mark. Deep inside the Metropolis power plant, the Underworlders celebrate their takeover. You're not under... No one's under me. This looks like a job for... Superman! And who to play on 4th of July than one of the... level 1, Siege of the Underworlders. I am the Underminer. You are above me, but no one is below... You are above me, but no one is below me, or something like that. But anyway, yeah, it's a action-adventure game as we move back and forth on the screen, left and right, the directional pads. The X button is punch, Y is for the bomb attack, which I'll show that off when we get like quite a few people together. Then we got our ranged attack, which is Clark's or Superman's eye beams. Oh yeah, I could have thrown that at someone. There's a couple things you can do in the game. You can throw people, and let's see if I can grab them again. And if you press up, you can smash them into stuff, which I always thought was cool. You don't need to do that, although I think at some levels you get something if you do that. Now, how's Superman being hurt by these guys? I don't know. It's a game mechanic. Yeah, technically Superman can only be hurt by like magic and like kryptonite or something like that. And magic just makes it neutral on him. Like, he's not particularly super weak, but it does work on him. Oh yeah, and like most beat 'em ups, all the enemies have like names like Igor, Rambo. Let's see, another Rambo. Okay, they're all Rambos apparently. Yeah, no, I don't remember much about the Underworlders. I know that some of the stuff is liberty of the story itself, because because the comic book starts with the introduction of the villain beating up some of the Justice League, like Booster Gold and stuff like that, but that's not introduced in the game at all. You have to have read the comic if you want to know the kind of the real introduction for it. But this is a a minor. Let's see. Okay. I know you can fly. I just. Oh crap! I missed the buff. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, I don't know how Clark's getting electrified either. Like I said, game mechanics. Just assume he's holding back like he always does. You know, I'm afraid to hurt somebody, someone. Like I have to treat the world as if it's, you know, paper. But now I have a chance to really cut loose and show you what I'm really all about. Now that's probably one of the better lines from him in the final episode of the Superman animated series when he fights Darkseid. Yeah, Superman is definitely a fave, although not my favorite, just mainly because of the writers for Superman, because it's really hard to write for Superman because, oh, we got the tick, Spoon! Because he's so powerful, you have to, like, write his stories differently. I mean, you can have a one-on-one brawl, and it has to be against someone who can stand toe-to-toe with Superman, like Darkseid, but you can't always have him be fighting, you know, world-ending threats like every other second. Otherwise, it gets kind of boring. So that's why a lot of good Superman stories are sometimes about him dealing with, like, you know, an alien man on a different planet and being accepted. You know, the true immigrant story, that type of situation. So this immigrant can beat up bad guys and works for the American dream. Although apparently in later comics they changed it to the Earth dream instead of the American dream, because, you know, Superman was more of a patriotic character, more representative of America, because his creators. Was it Simon & Schuster, I believe? Or I might be incorrect on that. They were Jewish immigrants to America, and they just of course, they kind of got, overall in the comic industry, they kind of got screwed, especially royalties and their families, but I don't want to talk about that because that's kind of depressing when you think about that. Or is it Simon & Schuster? Whatever. Anyway, they were Jewish immigrants to America, and that was, Superman was kind of the representation of them coming to America, that type of thing. And all the other stuff, and yeah, it became a very popular character. Weirdly enough, he didn't immediately become popular. It took like a little while for him to become popular. Oh yeah, you can either fly or jump on those guys. Yeah, Superman can't fly, so they didn't do the stupid thing where, like, oh, Superman can't fly for some reason. He can. It's just there hardly any enemies right now that can really, you know, fight via flight. You know, I really do like the artwork on this. You could tell Blizzard in their early days worked on this. Yeah, Blizzard's another one of those things where, you know, this dates itself now that Blizzard really isn't the same company as it was, because now it's Blizzard Activision, and, well, let's just not go into that can of worms now, shall we? We're here to, you know, play a 4th of July type of game, even though this isn't really about any patriotism other than, you know, Superman being the American dream. But yeah, later comics they made him the Earth dream. They tried to not, I guess, pigeonhole him in being an America thing, but I don't know, that kind of defeats the purpose of the creators of what they intended for it. So I don't know, I think it's disingenuous, but whatever. I mean, he grew up in America, for goodness sakes. I think it was Kansas. I mean, Superman is the stereotypical, like, you know, immigrant child who was raised by good people in Middle America. Like, it's supposed to show you that Middle Americans, you know, aren't all, like, some people view them as like these, you know, hicks or people that hate, like, others and stuff like that, which is not true. I mean, there are people like that around, but the Kents are, you know, that force for good, that, you know, the good, hardworking people of America raised this superhero that if Superman had been raised anywhere else, who knows how he would have been or acted or whatever, especially with that power. So the fact that he was raised in a goodly environment, you know, by good people, you know, helped build his character, not just from being a super powerful alien. So, yeah, I have some issues with the comics over the years. I haven't read a Superman comic forever, mainly because they're just comic books. Well, I don't want another can of worms I don't really want to go into. Let's just say comic books are definitely not the same as they used to be. Not as interesting, at least in most cases, so I leave that alone. I did read comic books back in the 80s and 90s, but I wouldn't call myself, like, an expert. I knew friends that, like, read that stuff way more than I did. I picked up the occasional comic book. If I did, it was mainly Superman and Spider-Man, which, yeah, you know, it's stereotypical that most people like Spider-Man or Batman out of all the characters. So, hey, they were good. They were real well-written comics for the most part. There were a few others I'd read, like Iron Man and, yeah, the occasional Superman comic. Although there was that one time where Superman got electrical powers because they wanted to change him up a bit. I stopped reading after that for a while because they changed Superman so drastically. But anyway, we got Closter here. Closter? Whatever. Oh yeah, I guess I could show up my bomb attack. Yeah, the bomb attack is, he just basically hits the ground, so. And like typical, you know, beat 'em up fashion. There's a lot of cheap action. This guy kind of looks like another villain we're going to be fighting here in the future. Yeah, this area is kind of made just for the purposes of kind of setting up a prologue before the actual event with what's coming up. Yeah, Cluster was pretty easy. I got beat up by the guys more before than after. So yeah, that's stage 1. Newsflash! A being of unknown origin is heading for Metropolis, destroying everything in its path. Not even the Justice League can stop it. Yeah, the beginning comic books are like a guy in like clothing or whatever beating up like all the Justice League at the time. Doomsday is here! Yeah, that's his original outfit before he becomes, as we know, because he was cloned in a lab. Only Superman can save us now! Where are you, Superman? I forgot all the heroes he beats up. I know the one that he beats up the most is Booster Gold. There's a few others, but it's been forever since I've read Level 2, Doomsday and Metropolis. It's been forever since I read the original comic run. I know the gist of what happens and stuff like that. But yeah, Superman comes after like the Justice League almost gets just annihilated or almost killed. And, it's supposed to set the precedent that something's about to happen. But yeah, before we fight Doomsday, we're going to fight regular dudes. Yeah, that's the problem with this game is because Superman, how powerful he is, like, these guys would be toast, like in real life. Oh yeah, in this state, you could throw them into the wood beams. Yeah, I think there are some, yeah, I was about to say, I think there are some levels where throwing them into the actual beams actually gets you something, which in this case gave me a 1-up, which I think is a really clever idea to kind of let you interact with the environment. I mean, yeah, it's a Super Nintendo game, but really a chainsaw is going to hurt the Man of Steel? Seriously? Although we end up finding a Man of Steel later on, if you know what I mean. Based off a really crappy movie. No, the character was out before the movie. Yeah, this is the series that like brought a whole new slew of like heroes to the forefront because of what happened, to make up for Superman disappearing or dying or whatever, which we'll talk about whenever we actually get to that part. Even though there's like a million superheroes in DC Comics before Superman. Oh, yeah, he just came on in with the bike and was like, nope. No stereotypical 80s, 90s punk guy. That's clearly an evil guy because he's dressed differently in our a pimple on society. Nah, they're just easy to be villains, when you have crazy bikers. Oh yeah, your name's Chainsaw, huh? Molotov. Don't even want to give you actual names, huh? We just want to go by your traits, Yeah, I like the Superman swagger when he's just like, you think you're tough? I'm the Man of Steel, baby. You can't beat me. I'm Clark Kent. I mean, I didn't mean to say my name. I forgot what the other superheroes, because most of the major superheroes don't pop up till after the events of this going down. Like, you're probably wondering, like, where's Green Lantern? Where's Batman during all this? I think it's explained, like, in their own comics, because back in the day, comics used to do, well, I mean, they still technically do this, but they've been getting a little worse about it recently. Comics used to have, like, different runs. They used to have they would have anniversary or major events occur during either either yearly or bi-yearly, depending on the company or whatever. Nowadays, they do it like every other month, it seems like. I like that you could actually get the allies or the enemies to hit their own allies. But anyway, they'd have event comics, and then they would have everyone keep their own runs. And usually, the way it would work is they would have the anniversary. Oh, here's Doomsday. We're going to beat him easily and win the game because it's a beat him up, see? Oh, he's easy. Come on, man. I think you can actually get the enemies to get smashed by this ball here, but it's hard for me to do that. Well, this guy is lazy. I think Doomsday, actually Superman and Doomsday do kind of, was he really beaten up by well, I'm surprised I got it. I think in the comic they do fight a bit and run around the city before the killing blow or whatever happens. And Doomsday runs away. What are you, like, a coward, Doomsday? And then he sends more human minions, apparently. I don't know. He actually doesn't. Like I said, in the comic, it's just Superman goes straight to Doomsday. It's not like he beats up a bunch of guys and then gets there. But for game mechanic purposes, we have to have something in between boss fights. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, if you want to fly, you jump twice, for example, and then you use the directional pad to control. I don't know if I said that before, so. But I've got a crate here. Nah. And laser eye beams. Yeah, laser eye beams are more used for distraction or to stun an enemy for like a brief second before you actually hit the guy or whatever. I don't think you can make a stronger version of the beat now. But so far, the only problem with this game is, like most beat 'em up, it's kind of mindless after a while. You kind of play one of these games when you're kind of just trying to, you know, de-stress. You're like, I want to beat up some guys. This is why I liked, for the longest time, I liked the Dynasty Warrior series, because it's basically just me taking out guys one by one, like millions of dudes, and it just made me feel better, you know, like just killing a bunch of dudes on screen. I mean, they were cheesy, but the later Dynasty Warrior games were definitely not as good. Man, I kind of wish we had a decent modern-day Superman game, like a Batman Arkham Asylum-ish type of game. I heard the people who made that game were wanting to work on a Superman game, but the technology just wasn't there. Because, I mean, how do you make a game about a basically literal god on Earth, you know? Like, and make it fun without doing the Superman 64 thing where he's either in a simulation or it's kryptonite fog, so you can't do what you need to do. Oh yeah, I could have played that game. I didn't want to hurt my brain cells too much. I'd rather play something like this than Superman 64. Everyone's seen the videos of like people playing it and how bad it is. We know it's bad. I don't need to play it. Unless people really want me to play it, I really wouldn't have anything more to add to it other than this sucks, you know. Or maybe try to find the PlayStation 1 build of the game that's incomplete. I heard that one's a lot more tolerable. But yeah, Superman deserved a lot better than that from a game-wise. But like I said, it's hard to do. And yeah, this one does take liberties because the whole Superman being beaten up by like regular dudes, like, you know, doesn't make sense. But I mean, from a game mechanic, it does. Like if we were playing Batman, I almost thought about playing the Batman one, but the Batman hit one like Batman Returns or something like that. But maybe I should be using my bombs wrong. I'm about to die actually, because the bombs are pretty good about clearing out objects. Although I like saving them for bosses because they give me a hot second to. Yeah, let's use one. Why not? We had multiple ones anyway. It usually kills most people on screen. Usually. Now. Oh, we got different chainsaw guys. I just noticed they have different mohawks. You know they're evil when they have mohawks. Isn't that a common thing now? Like a lot of modern day teenagers now wear their hair kind of like mohawky. When did that change to where it was like kind of against the system to being a part of the system? You know what I mean? When everyone does it, it's the system at that point. You know what I mean? It's the man. And all that. Oh yeah, I forgot you could throw them into the windows. Yeah, sorry, I haven't been doing that. It's one of those things where you just. I just love that. Just I don't know, just something about that's just fun, you know, to do to people. And we know they're villains, so we don't care about like how we treat them, you know, stuff like that. Should be coming across Doomsday here very soon for the second round. Yeah, Superman swagger. Look at that. Yeah, look at me go. Oh, here comes Doomsday for round number 2. Who's up for round 2? Ow. That was him at the intro. Yeah, I got. Oh, I was doing so well before. What happened, man? Ah, man. Like, the first time I fought him, I took, like, no damage. Well, actually, technically, in the comics, it's the same way, too. Like, Doomsday starts... At first, he doesn't do too much to Superman, but then he starts, like, doing more damage, because the way Doomsday works is he was part of, like... I forgot who... The creature or the people who made him. But, oh, come on, man. Yeah, I can't do my... I can't... Ugh. I might have to retry the level. Because if you die, you have to, like, redo the whole level all over again. Yeah, see. What I might do is I might skip to Doomsday again. Since I died, I'll have to be a bit more careful and maybe use the bombs on dude, so I'll be right back. Oh, we're back. I did a lot better this time. When you're not talking, you tend to focus a lot better. I remember this game being semi-difficult, but especially with Doomsday here, I just got really unlucky with him. The way you're supposed to fight him is you're supposed to kind of hit him on the bomb. You're supposed to not just straight up go into his attacks. Which, the first time I fought him, I wasn't even really paying attention. That's kind of what I was doing without realizing it. And yeah, I've got a lot more lives. I wonder if I can do the grab attack on him There is a way to, like, get a really good, a fun, like, little... if you don't want to grab him and throw him into the wall, you can do a... let's see if I can do it now. I'm invincible. Oh, I did it wrong. If you press down and attack, you can do kind of like a grab. Yeah, there we go. All right, are we done, Doomsday? You had enough? And that's the epic, yeah, that's the big comic book scene where you know they die is when they both uppercut each other and they both crack each other's necks. Oh, it's an epic scene if you read it in the comic, you know. And Superman, I think Doomsday dies immediately, but Superman dies like shortly thereafter in the hands of Lois Lane there. To save the city, Superman gave his all and more. The world will forever mourn this day as the day its greatest hero fell. Who will defend us now? Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Cyborg, Robin, Starfire, Raven. I could go on. Oh, we need someone else, not just... Oh, right. Newsflash, reports of Superman sightings are pouring in from all over the city. Yeah, this is when the comic... I forgot what it's called, the comic after the death of Superman. Because it's called The Death of Superman was the original. Some folks claim to have seen a man that is half man, half machine. It's more machine now than that. Yeah, that's Cyborg Superman right there. There's the Eradicator. Others claim to have seen a Superman who is the same, yet somehow changed. And then here's a couple of others. Up there's Superboy. Still, others believe they have seen a young Superboy. You mean a young Superman, or okay? What that almost doesn't kind of make sense, because when a boy indicates that he's young. And finally, we have received the eyewitness reports of a man made of steel. They made a movie based off that guy with Shaq. Really bad, but some people have liked it in terms of its badness. But who is the real Superman? Well, none of them. I mean, technically the closest is Eradicator, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyway, level 3, Assault on Cadmus. Cadmus is like the famous, try the best way to work with Cadmus. Cadmus is like an organization that works against like heroes, villains, and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, we play Cyborg Superman first. His beginning section is, he's obviously half machine. And those things are shooting kryptonite beams at us, by the way. That's why they're hurting us. I forgot the original name of Cyborg Superman, like who he is and everything like that. I mean, you could probably look it up and either read the wiki or the details about him. But it's like most Superman. He's very similar, almost. He's not quite Metallo, if you think that's who he is. Metallo is like his own villain. Cyborg Superman is a crazy character just overall in the comics and what they have him do and everything like that. So, yeah, I like how they give you kind of a flying section, because why not, right? We're playing as Superman. But there'll be a twist with Cyborg Superman for those who haven't read the comics. Look at his evil grin, man. He even has a different combat set. Oh, and we actually have flyers now, but yeah, we have elites, defenders. Yeah, you can fly in the air. He also, instead of an eye laser, he has his hand cannon, similar to the elites there. So I'll show you his bomb attack here in a second. So then we can grab him too. We can throw him in the back. Yeah, I got to remember to do that. That's what happened in between the episodes, as I hit a couple more windows that I missed, and they had some healing in them. Blue, by the way, I didn't talk about that. Blue Superman symbols are healing, and red Superman symbols are bombs. So you can, or bomb attacks, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, Cadmus is like an organization that basically tries to... They're kind of an evil group, but they also kind of do the whole humans, working for governments, stuff like that, to, keeping the control of the governments instead of just like these wayward like superheroes, supervillains type of thing where they want control. I think Amanda Waller works for them, I think, if I recall. I'll admit, I'm not as big, I'm not as memorable on the DC lore as I am on the Marvel lore, despite the fact I grew up more with the DC cartoons than Marvel cartoons, because Marvel only had like a couple of cartoons. They had like Spider-Man and the X-Men cartoon. The X-Men cartoon was really good. I heard they're trying to reboot that, but I think that's a little too late type of situation. Best leave sleeping dogs lie, or like how would you even be able to, like, the writing and like mentality of things these days is not the same as it was back in the 90s when that story was written. I remember that cartoon being pretty adult for what it was too, having some pretty major themes if I recall. But anyway, yeah, there's basically X-Men and Spider-Man. DC had like Batman the Animated Series, Batman and Robin the Animated Series. They had the Justice League, Superman the Animated Series, and then they had Justice League, the sequel series, Unlimited. And then they had a ton of like cartoon movies and stuff like that. Marvel really didn't like really utilize a lot of their characters. They did every once in a while, but it seemed like at the time, at least in the 90s, DC tended to somehow seem to utilize their characters a bit more, at least when it came to media and stuff like that, which I guess makes sense because Marvel almost went bankrupt back in the 90s, despite the popularity of some of the characters. It was more decisions based off the top, but yeah, yeah, DC never. Well, I guess technically they never got to the chance to go out of business because they got merged with Warner Brothers or something like that. But yeah, Marvel almost went out of business, and they had to sell like a lot of their properties to movie studios for pennies on the dollar to try and make money to keep up. That's how how the whole Spider-Man is a part of Sony's repertoire when it comes to movies. You know, people were always wondering why it never went back to Disney or Marvel or whatever. It's because Sony bought the rights to Spider-Man, like when Marvel was trying to you know, try to stay afloat. And then obviously from that sale came the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, which is probably my I don't know if I'd say my favorite, although Spider-Man 2 is definitely my favorite out of the trilogy overall, I think. Although you can't not hate 1 for William Dafoe, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm talking about Superman. I really like the first movie for the most part. Second movie's okay. The third one is when it starts. Oh yeah, I forgot his grab attack is him shooting guys. Yeah, it's Cyborg Superman uses like guns and stuff like that. So, but he isn't as powerful as Superman. But he's pretty close at times, depending on who wants to ride him anyway. Yeah, it's kind of Superman. His powers kind of, and how strong or weak is kind of varies depending on his riders. It happens in comics all the time. That's why retcons and stuff of that appear all the time. What the? Got clones and stuff, or whatever, people in vial jars. What is Cadmus doing? Yeah, I'm dying more often than I should, to tell you the truth. Although the enemies do get tougher, and the game does get harder. Like, even though you know what to do to attack, but yeah, like stuff like this, or cheap attacks where the elites attack. Oh right, I forgot you could some holes you could fly up and. But yeah, I probably should show it the bomb attack. I'll show it off when we get to pretty close. Yeah, I'm missing out on probably some power-ups or some health. Let's see, where are we now? More elites or defenders, I mean. Yeah, I thought you could destroy those. Yeah, definitely different from the random. Now this makes more sense with the villains we're fighting and the fact we're fighting with Cyborg Superman, because like I said, still strong, but not as strong as Superman. Yeah, since Superman's the poster boy for DC, they don't want any characters to be stronger than him. Although they want to give him challenges, like with Doomsday or something like that, or creatures that are just so big that he needs help. The sad thing about the cartoon series, the animated Superman, is they made him weaker. Same in the Justice League cartoon, because they had to make him weaker to make the other characters useful, like, you know, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and stuff like that. Which is kind of sad. They even, if you read commentaries on the cartoon, they purposely said they had to like weaken Superman a bit to make the other characters useful. It happens in the comics all the time. They always have trouble trying to find ways to make Superman not just win instantly. So that's why his power fluctuates depending on his writers. Or they find reasons to have Superman not be part of the Justice League cartoon because he's off saving the universe from something like in another planet or something like that. That happens quite a bit in comics, where they do anniversary comics where a major event occurs and they usually use a villain that probably could easily be defeated by Superman, but they always say like, oh, he's on Neptune, you know, fighting the Gamorreans, or I don't know, something like that. And so they oh yeah, I guess I could have used a grenade. Yeah, or a bomb. He actually uses a bomb. Yeah, I seem to have a little bit more trouble later on with this. I don't know if I probably won't beat the game, but I'll get as far as I can within reason. I mean, you can continue as much as you want. There's not like or at least I don't believe this version had a limit to continues, unless it was the Sega Genesis version. It's been forever, I'll admit. I thought this had infinite continues. Take that, flying guy. Yeah, I really just need to fly when he's up here and just take him out. The only problem is he can fly. The way they designed his shooting stuff is he's supposed to be able to still hit you no matter where. I like Cyborg Superman just kind of just hovering. Ah. I'm trying to think what else about Cyborg. Like I said, I don't know as much about DC. I know some of the heroes, and obviously I listed off so many from before. Yeah, I like the fact that the game's like, who will save us now? I'm like, dude, DC has like 200 plus, probably even more superheroes, and some of them are like in space, but they could probably come and help you. You know, like the Green Lantern and stuff like that. They've got like, you know, Earth has like, let's see, Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner. What's his name now? Oh, I'm trying to. The guy with the haircut. browbeaty Green Lantern. Oh, I forgot his name. I kind of like him just because his attitude is different from the other Green Lanterns. Anyway, John Stewart. They've had a couple of new Green Lanterns over the years. They've had like 3 or 4 new Earth-based Green Lanterns. I think they need to stop making new Green Lanterns because you've already made too many. Like there's 10 from Earth. And the whole idea of the Green Lanterns is they're supposed to be like one Green Lantern per sector, not per planet. And yet Earth somehow gets to keep multiple Green Lanterns. You know, you're like, I know why, because it's relatable. We'll have something happen on Earth, you know, and that's where all the stories occur. But it's just kind of like, you have like 50 billion like Green Lanterns on Earth. Stop it. You can make, or have Green Lanterns from other worlds join the team for like a little while, you know, stuff like that. Ugh, man, I am not doing very well on this map at all. I've beaten the game, by the way. I know what the game's like and how it ends and all the other characters. Because I think I remember having a bit of difficulty on the Cyborg Superman part when I first played the game too. Not so much the Superman part. I mean, I did die on that one on the recording here. Oh, wait, how come I can't get that? Game? There we go. Like it wouldn't let me grab it for some reason. It was like on a weird vector or something like that. I really got to utilize, like I said, the flying and everything like that. Yeah, a lot of the enemies keep kind of getting me cheap shotted. Oh yeah, and obviously the enemies have more HP now. Whew. Probably not even gonna survive the boss if I'm not careful. Oh, here we go. Finally got to the boss. All right, who is it? Oh, it's some robot thingy. Okay. It's the Sentinel. All right. Oh wait, is it that Marvel hero? Uh-oh, that's not good. There is actually, Marvel does have a Superman of his own, but he's like insane, like literally insane. And he also has like an alternate being inside him called the Beast, I think it is, that could possibly destroy the world. And so I thought that was always interesting, like having a Superman that could possibly go insane. I mean, yeah, technically this Superman can go crazy too. That's like the whole point of the, well, not crazy, but evil, which is the whole point of the Injustice series, which I played that a long time ago. This guy's kind of cheap, actually, if I remember. I killed him off screen. Whoops. Oh well. What the? Doomsday? He's alive? Yeah, Doomsday's mechanic is that he was basically experimented on, and basically he becomes immune to whatever killed him last, and yet he'll somehow come back to life after getting killed. So, fearing that Doomsday might somehow reawaken, the cyborg hurls his body into deep space. It's to take him out of the story, because yeah, Doomsday doesn't make an appearance in the rest of this. The Return of the Super... I think it's called the Supermen plot, the Return of the Supermen. I think it's the comic series. Level 4, The Last Son of Krypton. I think that's the comic series that happens after the death of Superman, where they do a bunch of one-shots during that anniversary event where people try to take over for Superman, even though the world has... we're playing as the Eradicator, which is the closest to Superman. The Eradicator, I think they explain like what he is later on. We're back to humans again, thank God. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's the closest to looking like Superman. It is grab attack is groining people. Great. Who knew that this Superman was a jerk? Man, I don't know if I want to explain what the story is until I think the game explains what he is. Well, we know he's not the real Superman. I mean, that's obvious. Okay, so the Eradicator is a robot, like not robot. It's a weird explanation. He's not a cyborg. He's kind of like a clone-ish robot that's supposed to awaken when Superman like is out of commission or whatever. I don't remember the full details of the Eradicator, but yeah, basically he is the closest to Superman, logistically speaking. Yeah, the Eradicator does, instead of I-beams, he does kind of like a hand blaster. Overall, the Eradicator is definitely weaker than Superman by a lot, because he's not the true Superman. He's close, but not. I think Cyborg Superman's stronger than him too, if I recall. I guess technically Superboy would be really close to Superman, just being a young version of... Man, I am not doing very well. Luckily we got some blue Superman goo. I'm trying to remember how many levels this game has. I think it has like 7 or 8, I think, so we're about halfway through, so... I guess I could have made this a how many quarters, because technically every time I continue, I'm quartering it up, but yeah. No, don't chainsaw me. Let's see. I think the Eradicator has made a few appearances in the series because some of these characters really only like the Eradicator really only made his major appearance in this comic. Although I think I remember him making an appearance a couple more times in the franchise in certain situations, like when writers wanted to bring him back for whatever reason, despite him being basically a clone-ish version of Superman to just be a placeholder until Superman came back. I like the design of the Eradicator, kind of the silly over-the-top cape. You can tell he's a 90s design, though. And most 90s designs for heroes were pretty bad. But I still like it anyway, just his over-flaring cape, his goggles, and everything like that. Well, I am a child of the 90s, so it makes sense that I would be a bit, I would give in to the cheese. Although there are some characters that made in the 90s that were poorly designed, but still lasted the test of time. You know? Not a lot of them, but some did. Although I'll admit, 90s was, I was about to say 90s wasn't the best time for comics, late 90s wasn't the best time for comics because a lot of comics had to be edgy and you know, and tough, you know. You should look at some comic book covers in the 90s. You can tell the difference between like that in different ages. But I'm kind of not a big fan of comic books right now, like how they're going. So I would say almost this time is the worst time for comic books. But then again, this was the era where the 90s era was the time where they would like make a bunch of different first issues of comics, and they did the whole different covers so to get people to oh yeah, you can slam people into like the steel gate or steel frames, the bricks, and the wood parts there. But this is the era. This is why they probably went bankrupt, because they kept making all these number ones and trying to people buy more number ones because they had different covers and stuff like that. Good thing I wasn't a super collector. Jeez, they really tried to like nickel and dime you back in the day for comics. Like I said, that's probably why they went. Maybe that's why they were about to go out of business, because they were trying to do that, or maybe they were about to go out of business, so they tried every cheap track they could look to do it. So I want to shout out the bomb, but like I said, I want to save that for bosses and stuff like that. I almost feel like it's a better idea just to die at the beginning of a level if you use so many resources in between like character levels and stuff like that. Yeah, that's usually the best time to usually ranged attack is when someone's on a bike or something like that. I don't know. I tend to not use the ranged attack very often just because it just does like no damage, you know. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, I forgot to show his drop kick too. Yeah. Yeah, Eradicator does play a very important part in this comic book. I believe the comic book run was done by the same people after the Death and Return of Superman. I could be wrong though. So many comic book runs will have like halfway through we'll get new artists and writers and stuff like that because of like sales or other projects or something like that. But I don't know the ins and outs of the comic book industry, as you know. Like I said, I don't read comics anymore. I don't even read and most people have gone to manga from what I understand because they tend to keep a lot of the same values that these old ones did. But I don't really read those either. So I usually read more classical books and stuff like that. But not that there's anything wrong with reading all this different type of stuff. Yeah, I've kind of fallen out of favor with that type of stuff. I'll admit. I gotta be careful, man. I guess I could show off the bomb. Yeah, his bomb attack's pretty cool. He just goes all like, I don't know, emo, like I will destroy you or something. I don't know. These guys are getting a little tougher just because, you know, more damage and all this other stuff. And more HP. Okay, nothing there. I think Superman, well, no, I think they might be doing the same damage. Sometimes you can get the AI to hit itself, although I showed you that multiple times. Ah, didn't need to jump into that. Okay, almost. Next section. Aha. I'm trying to think else what it is. I guess I should have made. I was making this 4th of July episode, but yet I'm talking more about. Oh, there's Steel right there. The Man of Steel himself. Steel. I think his name's John Jones. No, John Jones is the Martian Manhunter. I think not John Stewart. I thought his name was John something. I only read like one Steel comic. I mean, he's an interesting character. He's basically a guy who works at a garage who, you know, just was inspired by Superman, so he made this steel outfit. His big thing is he uses a hammer. Overall, in the terms of the Superman, obviously he's basically a Tony Stark-ish type of character where he has a suit that's where all his power is from. Yeah, you think we wouldn't be fighting our allies or something like that. But yeah, we do the whole heroes fight each other and then they go, oh wait, we shouldn't be fighting each other, you know, that type of thing. So I think the idea for Steel is cool. It's just like I say, he's never been the most popular of characters. With a wave of my hand, I could destroy you, Man of Steel. I think so, actually. Like I said, Eradicator is the closest to Superman. It takes more than power to be Superman. It takes humanity and compassion. I guess Superman had it in spades, I guess. Perhaps you are right. Go in peace, Man of Steel. Together we shall watch over Metropolis. It's kind of like how when Marvel, New York has like 1 billion heroes in it, like it's overcrowded. Meanwhile, an enormous spacecraft appears over Coast City. Coast City is... I'm trying to remember which hero does that. It destroys it completely. I think that was Green Lantern City? I could be wrong, though. No, wait, that's Star City, isn't it? Who is Coast City's hero? I must go investigate the destruction of Coast City. Yeah, they watch it while it happens. They're like, I could have stopped it, but... I didn't want to. Anyway, level 5. Ambush at Coast City. Big Apple, 3 a.m. No, wait. I'm surprised I haven't had to continue yet, though. Got really close, though. Anyway, we're in an Eradicator flying section. Yeah, they use the same bolts as Cyborg. It's kind of hard to not get hit by these guys. Like, I don't know if I've ever gotten through a section without taking any damage. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible, but usually most beat-em-ups purposely like did cheap tactics to knock down your HP, so you could put in more quarters. But a lot of people didn't realize that you didn't need to pump in quarters for console versions, but you have to make it tough enough. You know what I mean? To be challenging, despite being able to just... That's probably why the console versions obviously usually would have limited continues, because because you couldn't pump quarters in. So like, why don't we make a challenge? Well, we only give them 5 continues or something like that, but. Yeah, these flying sections are pretty straightforward. Nothing. I mean, it's cool that they're there, but there's not much to them. So, yeah, we get reskins. Oh well, that's just how it is in these games. The War Worlder. Oh, did he get killed by like one of his allies, or attacked by one of his allies? Maybe we go. Oh, he fell in a mine. That's what happened. Nope. Yeah, war bots and stuff like that. So we got something else. Got some like dark side stuff going on here. I might just let myself die actually. I probably should. Yeah, let's just let ourselves die. And we'll just continue. I think I had to do the flying section again, so I'll be right back here in a second. Alright, we're back after doing that. That didn't take very long. It took like less than a minute or whatever. Yeah, you can tell Coastal City took some major damage here. Actually, I think this is the situation. I thought it was Star City that was Green Lantern, but I think this is the situation that sets up for the Green Lantern storyline where Hal Jordan goes insane, if I remember correctly, actually. I think so. Yeah, at some point he becomes, because everyone, I think it was Coast City, I could be wrong, like I said, but basically his city gets destroyed during an event, and he goes insane because everyone, I think even like the love of his life gets killed and stuff like that. So he goes insane and basically creates constructs of everyone in the city to kind of like bring back normalcy. And then the Guardians who control the Green Lantern Range are like, this is a abuse of power, Hal Jordan. You can't do this. And so he gets pissed off because they're saying, you shouldn't do this. Man, I am doing really bad right now. But they took so much damage to me. Holy cow. All right. Oh, we got another another reskin. Man, I am doing very bad. What are you doing back here? You're supposed to be from the Underworlders. But anyway, yeah, after some point, he gets pissed off at the Guardians. They try to take his ring. So at some point, he goes crazy and starts killing other Green Lanterns and taking their rings. And, which, amplified his powers. Eventually, it becomes, like, there's a famous cover of him with, like, a ring on each finger. And, yeah, he just basically goes on a killing spree. And eventually, I think he doesn't get stopped. He just leaves the world, or leaves. And, man, look at that. Just taking a ton of damage. Yeah, he just leaves the, galaxy and runs away for a while. And then he comes back, I forgot how much longer, maybe years later or something like that. He comes back as Parallax and becomes a new villain for the heroes. I forgot who stops him initially. I think it's the Justice League in general that ends up stopping him. But he ends up becoming, he gets captured and sealed. And then at some point, there's a redemption arc for Hal, but that's like a long time. And so while Hal Jordan's away, I think it was Kyle Rayner that takes on the role of Green Lantern after that. And then obviously other Green Lanterns appear up just to kind of make up. But it's nowhere near as big as like the Death and Return of Superman type of thing. But it still was a big deal because it was another classic hero becoming a villain or becoming a heel, as they were. And so someone had to come up to take his place. I'm still trying to remember that other Green Lantern. Oh man, I am getting just cheap shotted. I'm trying to remember the other Green Lantern. The guy with the buzz cut. He was prominent in the Green Lantern cartoon they had in the like early 2000s, I think it was. Actually, it wasn't a bad cartoon from what I remember. Unfortunately, I missed it, and it got canceled pretty early. But it was about like Hal Jordan and Kilowog, another Green Lantern, going up into space and getting basically going to another sector far away from home, so they get lost there. So they have to like find a way to get back, and so they end up getting caught up and finding out about the Red Lanterns and all this other stuff. I'm probably throwing all this other like random comic book mumbo jumbo at you all, and you're like, what the heck is he talking about? And that's just bits and pieces I've learned over the years. And no, this isn't from reading comics consistently. This is just from random media and stuff like that I've run over the years. Oh, we got Cyborg Superman. Yeah, he becomes a villain. You find out later on that he was trying to basically take out the competition so he could control, like he'd pretend to be Superman. And because the idea was he wasn't, I think when they first appear, he actually isn't Cyborg. He actually is Superman. But then someone rips off his skin. I forgot who it is. But someone rips off his skin, and you find out he's Cyborg. Yeah, he basically tries to cut the competition to basically pretend to be Superman. At some point, he does end up believing he's Superman, though. Like, he gets so wrapped up into his scheme that, dang it. Dang it, stop it. Yeah, I get some. Yeah, I should have saved the bomb, or should have saved the random explosions for him. Yeah, the problem with this game is you can't do the whole hit them before they hit you type of thing, like step away, because sometimes the reach will hit you instead. Ugh, that was nasty. This game is dangerous, man. Lost almost all my lives. The Eradicator's like, I beat you. He's like, no! Even though he didn't hit him with a kryptonite beam. Actually, I think Cyborg Superman can shoot kryptonite beams now that I think about it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's, like I said, I don't remember every single detail. With Eradicator out of the way, my goal draws one step closer. Now to deal with the Superboy. The Superboy? I think Superboy, if I recall, is supposed to be an actual clone of Superman, but obviously, we'll stick to Metropolis Kid. Oh yeah, that's when he first appears. He calls himself the Metropolis Kid. He actually doesn't call him, or I think he was called Superboy, but didn't want to be called Superboy anymore, so he calls himself the Metropolis Kid to get away from that moniker. Yeah, Superboy is basically your typical, like, I'm a cool teenager. Look at my he even has the same swagger as Superman. But yeah, I think Cadmus, actually I think it was Cadmus who cloned Superman and was originally going to use Superboy as like a deterrent against Superman. But then obviously he got a conscience or whatever and broke his program or whatever you want to call it, and eventually became his own thing. But nowadays, I'm trying to remember, I think at some point Superboy does go insane too, if I recall too. Or is that a Superboy from a different... No, that's a Superboy from a different universe. That's a whole other... Is that Infinity Crisis? But I forgot what... This Superboy kind of gets changed a lot over the years because they're always not sure what to really do with Superboy, to tell you the truth. Like, sometimes he's Superman's clone, sometimes they made him his kid. Yeah, and stuff like that. So they keep retconning what Superboy is, like, half the time. More people know, most modern people probably know Superboy from, like his flip and everything. Let me see if I can do his grab, down grab, or whatever attack. Come on. Yeah, you, like, whacks him on the head a bunch of times. And obviously Superboy is not as strong. Oh, yeah, and I think he even has an earring and stuff like that, too. I mean, he's basically 80s as heck. Yeah, and for whatever reason, he doesn't have the I-beams, despite him having the I-beams in the cartoons and stuff like that. Oh, but anyway, most people know Superboy. The itineration that most people are familiar with are, at least modern day, are the Young Justice version of Superboy from the Young Justice cartoon. I watched that for a couple, like 1 or 2 seasons, and then they canceled it. And I guess they brought it back, but I haven't watched it. I heard they changed quite a bit, and I'm like, at that point, I lost interest. And the same with like Robin and other Superman or other characters. Teen Titans was a lot of people's go, although probably a lot of young people know him from Teen Titans Go, which that is just a bane on my existence. My nephew used to watch that, and oh god, that show is so obnoxious. It's not even funny. Ugh. They have a whole episode about saying waffles. Ugh. And I had to watch it because he wanted to watch it as a kid. Nowadays, he didn't. Obviously, if I ask him about it, he doesn't like it now. Or he's like, I didn't like it. I'm like, yeah, you did. You had me watch it. The Cartoon Network ran it for like 24 hours because it was their more popular show. It was their more popular show because they ran it 24/7, you dorks. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I like his combos, but yeah, I'm more of a just a straight Superman fan, not a Superboy, Dragon Boy. Oh wait, that's it. Okay. Come on. I don't know. Maybe I should have let myself get killed again, but then again, I'm not doing as bad as with Eradicator, whatnot. So. Sorry, I was messing with my timer on my phone. I forgot to start it after restarting again. Oh well. I might just make this, like, either split this up into multiple episodes and just release on the same day. I was originally not going to beat this, but I don't know. I'm making pretty decent progress. You can beat this game in like less than 2 hours. You know, if you don't die too often. Well, like I am. Oh yeah, I guess I could show out the bomb attack. Yeah, he just kind of goes, "I'm cool." Okay. But yeah, it looks like they use kind of the Eradicator to look up his powers for Superboy. Or, sorry, the Metropolis Kid. Oh, thank God, I need some healing there. Yeesh. I probably missed a bomb in an earlier level, but no. Bombs are really more useful against minions anyway, so. I mean, these are what they are, minions. Although minions of who, I'm not sure. I guess Cyborg Superman, because the Eradicator got... The Eradicator is not dead. He gets like taken out, but he's not dead. I forgot if he gets put into a coma or something like that, which you'll find out something else later. But yeah, he's not dead at this point. It's just the typical villain, like, oh, I beat them, ha ha ha, and you read the next issue to find out what happened. The streets of Metropolis are safe once again. Now to go check out Coast City. This game, the problem with superhero genre is there's so many heroes. They're like, you're always asking yourself, what about the other superheroes? Why aren't they helping with Coast City? Technically, in the comic, some people do help, but they, like I said, they give the excuse that the other characters are like doing something else at the time, so they can't help. Like, I think I'm trying to remember what Batman's doing during this. I mean, yeah, Batman appears for the funeral of Superman, but I'm trying to remember what story he's doing at the time because yeah, he's not around during the Rise of the Supermen. Actually, I think that was actually the comic book series, was the Rise of the Supermen. I think is what it was called. Yeah, another. Oh, and I got hit by the bombs. No. Yeah, they're doing so much to me. Stop it. There we go. I still took damage from that too. Nebs. And unfortunately, this is considered the one level, so if I die here, I have to go all the way back to the city because it's based by chapter. So. Oops. At least someone got hit by those bombs and not me. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what everyone's doing. Like I said, I read enough comics, but I didn't read so many comics where I knew like where every single character was at every single time. It'd probably be easier just to go to like a wiki and just like read the synopsis really to figure out what happened. That's probably what most people do that weren't avid comic book readers. They would just go to the wiki. It's been the rise of the wiki fans is what I like to call them. Those are people who basically never read the comics or know anything about them, but because they pulled up a wiki article, they think they know more than people who actually read the comics. I guess I could almost be considered that because I'll admit I didn't read every comic, but I'm still more aware of it than most other normal people are. And yeah, I'll probably have to redo this map. That's fine. Like I said, it didn't take me that long to get here on the first. Ow! Yeah, the problem is as soon as I hit a boss, unless I get lucky and hit a one man, but I don't remember where every single power-up is on every single level, so. And I know some end up being in the sky, but you're like, there. Yeah, take care of you first. No. Yeah, no damage for you, worlder. The problem is that robot and the afraid. Ah, come on, man. Another worlder. I like how everyone has that like little shake. They're like hovering like, yeah. I wonder if I can do that. Yeah, I'm not really doing very good on the grab part. Ow, come on. Yeah, now I'm getting annoyed because basically I'm about to die. Wizard is about to die. Superboy needs food badly. Or Metropolis Kid, whatever. Wouldn't it be funny if I'm about to run into the boss? Maybe. Oh, nope, not quite. I'm probably gonna die here. I should probably have to redo this part. That's like 3 deaths, or, well, it will be 3 deaths here in a second, but that's not bad. I remember dying a lot more during this game. I wonder if I can get them to... I was trying to get them to run into bombs. Well, there we go, but... Oh, there's another bomb up here. Can we get them to run into that bomb? I have to be on a different plane. Ah! Dang it. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, I thought I'd pop myself back up here when we're back in Coast City this time, and sorry, bad. Well, we did better. I have 5 lives and 4 bombs. Well, I mean, other than getting the, was it 3 lives from and 3 bombs from just doing this, or just being resurrected, and we're already starting out pretty poorly. Ah, man, not good, man. I can't just... I guess that's an interesting trick. There we go. Ha! Thought that was useful. Yeah, the Razorbacks themselves aren't too bad. It's when they start flying around all wimbly-bimbly, you know what I mean? That's kind of funny to have the enemy AR run to its own bombs at some point. So. War Worlders get used. I get used to them after a while. I already used the bomb for that section. Cause yeah, I noticed that they'll follow you if you're on the same trajectory. So if the bomb's up top, you need to fly up on the top floor there. The only problem is that sometimes they'll follow you. So man, they'll follow you, so they'll be right there if you're not moving around and stuff. So you have to be kind of careful. Yeah, I gotta see if there's any freaking. I can't grab the war bots. That's kind of frustrating, actually. Oh, I was trying to see if I could fly and then drop. There you go. See if there's any grab spots for. It's easier to do that. Ah, there we go. I got a bomb. So it looks like it's in the center of the map. I'm not as used to like breaking people on these sections here. So man, I've already lost almost all my lives already. Well, 1 life, so. That should be enough to get to the boss, at least. Okay, good. Raise your fist. I do like it when like beat 'em ups let the enemies hit each other. There's just something about like friendly fire, you know, because there were games back in the day that had like different modes where you could hit your ally, but well, depending on the game. Some games didn't give you a choice, and some it was like A mode or B mode, and some games they made it A mode being friendly fire, not B mode, which it should be. B mode should always be friendly fire mode, not the top option. You know what I mean? Oh, Thanks for fisting me. Could have bombed him, I guess, just to. If there's that post invincibility to. No blue Superman marks here. Oh well. Yeah, these guys do a lot more damage in the later levels. It's crazy. Oop, bomb. Bombs on the floor. Bombs on the floor. Something 70s song. I like the song, but there's some songs that just go, oh, come on, man. As soon as I step down, you got me. Okay. Is there another? Oh! Of course, actually. No, too late now. I was gonna use my bombs, but might try to do the cheap jump attack. That's usually one of the go-tos for certain games that you can get some cheap shots if you do jump attacks all the time. And I try not to do that all the time because, like I said, it gets kind of boring if that's all I do all day. So let's see if we can get some healing items or nothing like that. Nope. Of course not. Nope. Yeah. Just getting unlucky there, I guess. Alright, gotta... Oh, we got to the boss. Oh, it's Cyborg Superman person. Yay! Actually, let's see if we can get him to run into it. Yay! Alright. I think he can fly too, if I recall. I think. Okay, maybe not. I could have swore there was a level where the enemy would actually, like, fly and try to hit you. Ah. Well, I got enough lives, I can at least browbeat him. I hate doing that, though, because, you know, the game usually goes, no, you're not going to do that, because, like, he stuns you, unlike it when you hit him. Oh, God. Stop it. There we go. Yeesh. Are you going to do the same thing where you're like, I'm cool, yeah. Yep, they do this stupid thing where they... Oh, in this case, you can blow them up. I forgot how it works in the comics. Like I said, it's been forever since I've read those, so... Yep, Superboy's been caught. Where am I? What's going on? Looks like you've been caught in your tight spandex. God, that stuff's tight. Not that I'm into that thing. You are in what used to be Coast City, now Engine City, and you're witnessing the resurrecting of your planet. This is insane. You'll never get away with it. Typical comic book hero line. Yeah, you gotta love it. I must proceed with my plans to erect a second Engine City in Metropolis. Goodbye for now, Super Child. Yeah, the villain of the Return of the Superman is, and the Return of Superman himself is Cyborg Superman. So I must find a way to escape. I've got to warn the world. Don't you have a cell phone? Didn't Cyborg Superman put you in a kryptonite field or something like that? Meanwhile, among the polar ice caps far to the north, within the Fortress of Solitude, a being flutters weakly back to life. Who is this being? I don't know. It's Superboy escaping, so... Yeah, another kind of boring flying set. Oh well. I can't believe I lost all my lives in that point. You can tell just how much more difficult the game gets, you know. Cheaper tactics, they do more damage to you, so forth and so on. But it is a beat 'em up, so you gotta add retention or add those rental periods. Yeah, this is one of the perfect rental games for places where like blockbusters are like, oh, they're renting Death of Superman again. Yay, they're gonna rent it multiple times because they're gonna have trouble beating it. Or an RPG, we're good for them too, because those took forever to beat, so you rent it multiple times. Same when I rented the Final Fantasy VI a billion times before I finally actually bought it. Yay, level complete. That's the shortest level in the game. Newsflash. A fifth hero has appeared claiming to be the real Superman. The Man of Steel has gone to investigate. Yeah, we finally get to play as Steel after all this time. What the? That looks like Superman. Don't let the outfits fool you. I am Superman and I'm back. It is dark, his emo outfit. Yeah, 90s for you. How do I know you're for real? Well, he's got a mullet now. Does that count? Hey, we've got more important things to worry about. The Cyborg plans to use Engine City to take over the entire planet. Yep, and none of the other heroes are going to be able to help. Yep, that's just how it goes. Not if I can help it. I don't think you have any powers, dude, if I recall. Yeah, this Superman, like, has hardly any powers. What are we waiting for? Let's go! Part 7. Steel Rain. Steel Guard! Oh, wait, that's something else. Or Rain of Fire, or whatever. Yep, and we finally get to play as Steel. So Steel can fly, but yeah, since he's like an Iron Man, he uses jetpacks, he has this heavy suit of armor, he uses a Hammer basically in the same vein as what's his name? He was based off an actual person. He worked on the train cars and stuff like that. Now, if I'm trying to, okay, let's see if we can get this right. There is a, yeah, I just want to use his name all the time. John, was it just named John? There's a story about a man who worked on the rail yard, and he worked for hours and hours and hours by himself. I don't remember unfortunately, it's been forever since I've heard the tale. I'm trying to, you can actually bust these things off, but I forgot how to do it. Nuts. I might have to redo this map because this is supposed to, if you can destroy these things, these are where people get summoned in from. If you can destroy them early, it reduces how much annoyance you do with fighting them. But I forgot how to destroy those. Steel might not be able to do it, maybe. Yeah, no. Because you can destroy those. I just don't remember how to do it as Steel. I think you have to be like Superman or Eradicator or something like that, or Steel, something like that. But yeah, if you can destroy these things early, you can prevent enemies from spawning a lot sooner. But like I said, I don't remember how to do it as Steel, though. He might not be able to. Some characters you just can't do that with, no matter what you do. Oh, hey, all right. Oh, I'll live for like 5 seconds. Might as well show out the bomb while I'm here too. Yeah, it does kind of a Superman thing, except he does his hammer instead. I'm trying to remember the tale that goes about the guy with John, who he was basically a slave railroad worker who, at least I believe he was supposed to be a slave anyway. Nuts. All right. Let's continue and do this again. So give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, that's how you do it. So you have to grab and push forward when you do that. That's what I thought. I thought Steel could do that. But yeah, this is supposed to basically help me fight these guys easier, so that way I'm not getting wrecked by these guys keep summoning themselves. You know, that type of thing. I might not be able to destroy the other thing though, because I can't get them to go in the other direction. Yeah. Oh well. It's supposed to help me so I don't have to fight these stupid war bots. You know. I don't have to worry about summoning them. Ah, yeah, these warbots suck because they do that grab thing from far away. So, oh, and there's a heal up here. Nice. Ah, one time yeah, I thought I had to do something very specific to get Steel to destroy the teleporters. I wonder how many people knew how to do that. I did it because I died so much this part because there was just so many enemies. I was tired of getting killed all the time. I was like, how do you survive this section? It's like, oh, you have to destroy the teleporters if you're smart enough. Yeah. This one I might not be able to just because the flying guy is too annoying. I've noticed Steel's a little bit easier in certain respects, like when it comes to, his hammer has a bit more range that punches. And he holds it like a golf club. That worked. That'll work. Although I think there's only so many people that get summoned anyway. So oh, nope. Dang it. Yeah, definitely not. Man. Can't get that guy to. Dang it. Oh well. I'm trying not to get another destroyer summoned or whatever. Actually, I think you can do the other direction, like with his hammer, and get it hit, but I'm not very good at figuring that one out. Oops. For some reason I thought I could hit him when he did that form thing. That's another way to try and beat these guys, is just grabbing the crap out of them and hopefully... Aw, come on, man. I have to redo this section again. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, I haven't even been hitting people into the walls because I keep trying to destroy the teleporters. I hate the warbots. Warbots, mighty warbots. Something, warbots. I mean, it's GoBots or Orbots or whatever, but still. Oh, I wasn't close enough. Dang it. Ah, come on, man. Oh, you're so cheap. I hate war worlders. There goes that one, finally. So you can grab one in the middle of a spin attack. Unfortunately, I probably missed out on some healing or some 1-ups and stuff like that because of because I haven't been able to destroy those things either. So. That's 4. Oh, I hate these war worms. They're so freaking annoying. Okay, I destroyed 2 of them. I'm probably fine in terms of damage. I'll take this guy and let another guy spawn. It's better than all of them being active, if you know what I mean. Oh, it's a warbot. Why? I hate you. Oh, this level sucks. Just in general, warbots. There we go. Ah. May have to cut to when I get to a decent spot, you know. If I die again. Oh, maybe no. It's not a level complete, so we have to keep going. Yep, we're still going. Alright. No, more teleporters. No. Only I could destroy these without dealing with the war warriors. Yeah, I did it, so. I don't know, but all the effort I'm putting into destroying these teleporters, yeah, I probably could have put it into, like, not getting hurt, you know? Yeah, nope. Nope. So they don't. Ah, dang it. Oh well, I was hoping to get lucky and get an item there or something like that. Of course you start me off on a warbot. Why not? Ah, cool. Nice. Nope. 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 Ah, I'm using a bomb. Screw it. Alright. Yeesh, I didn't realize steel had such a difficult section. I mean, I can do it. It's just... Well, maybe. I don't know. The boss tends to take so much heat. Tends to do so much damage to me. It's just like... I wonder if I can do enough time. Oh, no! No! I didn't... Ah! I was hoping to, like... Just destroy the rest of those teleporters before the War Worlder got back up. Oh, healing. Oh no. Thank you. Thank you, demons. God, I'm still trying to remember that folktale about John. About like John and his hammer, basically. Basically, he hit like so many railroad spikes, and he ended up killing him in the end. But it was just his tenacity and his strength to persevere. I forgot why he does it though. It's been forever since I listened to that folktale. It's along the same lines as like Pecos Bill, Paul Bunyan. It's one of those American folktales. Because America relatively is young in the grand scheme of things, so we kind of came up in the early days of America, came up with our own folktales to try and, you know, make ourselves have our own like little bit of mystical history outside of like Native American culture and stuff like that. So we created, you know, a bomb, I guess, is good. I don't know. Mike. More. No, no, stop, stop with all these. No. I'm just gonna keep using bombs, at least until I can get to the boss. That way I can at least show you the boss. Oh, God. No. See, this is why you want to destroy these things. At least these guys are a little bit easier. Oh, you can do it that way. Okay. I thought you could, but... Oh, no. Yes! Oh. I wasted all my bombs, though. Did we do it? Oh, yes! Oh, I forgot Steel didn't have a boss in his thing. Oh, man. That was annoying. They're too late to stop the destruction of Metropolis. Launch the missile. Too bad none of you can fly. Oh, wait. Actually, Steel... Engine C has just launched the missile heading straight for Metropolis. Yeah, I think all of them can fly, so it's like, yeah, that's fine. We're all strong. We've got to stop it. Oh, really? Sherlock. Thanks for the info. No sweat. The kid will handle this one. Level 8, Metropolis, Ground Zero. Do we have another flying section? Actually, I think this is the hardest flying section in the game, actually, because of the, we've got, like, very little actual healing and stuff like that. Relative to, because you actually get blasted and this is like, oh, I missed it, no. Oh, I got it. That's right, yeah, if you just stay on, like, one section, you might get killed because you're, you know, staying in one spot, so you have to, like, kind of fly back and forth. Actually, this might be the final flying section of the game, actually. Wait, how's he shooting? I didn't think Superboy actually had beams outside of, like, laser eyes. I guess it's another game mechanic that makes it different from Superman. But I don't, like, logistically, I don't think in the comics he could shoot beams out of his hands. I could be wrong. I said I don't remember everything about Superboy. I'm more aware of Superman, or like I said, more Batman than anything. And even then, over the years, I've kind of lost track of Batman comics. I stopped reading those years ago. Mainly because they're just not as good as they used to be. I feel. No, I think that's it. Seizure warning! Anyway, all complete. Our only hope of destroying Engine City is to get to the engine's core. Destroy it from the inside, huh? Destroy the... Shoot the core! But the city is powered by kryptonite. If you're the real Superman, you won't survive. I'll go alone. Oh yeah, because Steel's the only non-Kryptonian character. And he's got a metal suit, so yeah, because technically kryptonite, good luck. Yeah, and this one, the black suited Superman is what they call him, uses guns and stuff. He uses like energy weapons and stuff like that because he has no actual strength. Level 9, the engine's core. Yeah, Steel, in the comics, kryptonite does have radiation, which one of the storylines was Lex Luthor getting cancer because he kept keeping a piece of kryptonite on him at all times to keep Superman at bay. But later on, he finds out that kryptonite irradiates, radiation. So he ended up like getting cancer and all this other stuff. So yeah, this section is a little bit difficult because of the flying sections, and there's not a ton of healing. So you have to kind of I remember this part being kind of difficult. Yeah, there's a lot of cheap damage in this section, and not a lot of healing too. Okay, maybe this is technically the hardest flying section in the game, although it doesn't follow the same rules as the previous flying section because of the be careful. It's almost better to run as soon as the that was close. Yeah, just gotta let the flames go and run. Oh, actually, from what I recall, you can't just stay there. You have to move because otherwise you'll. Oh, dang it. Because otherwise the flames will hit you in that position. They were designed to be like that. Ah, dang it. Oh, that's nuts. Oh yeah, technically we can shoot, but the problem is he does like no damage with like this beam. I forgot to show you that Steel has a ranged attack, but the hammer does a lot more damage by far. Yeah, he uses basically like shoulder guns or whatever. Although I think in the comics, Steel doesn't actually have like guns on him like Tony does because he's not. Damn, that sucks. I got hit way too many cheap times. But yeah, he acts more like Superman in his Steel form. But I don't remember the Steel comics ever being super popular, unfortunately. I mean, Steel, the character Man of Steel or Steel. Actually, I think that's his official name is Steel. I think it's an interesting concept for a character, but he never really gets utilized very well. I think he becomes a techie hero, and so usually they call upon Steel if they need like someone similar to like Iron Man. Although Iron Man got a lot more popular in the comics as opposed to Steel. because Iron Man was originally like a B tier hero, so he wasn't as super popular. But yeah, Steel never really caught on. I mean, he appeared every once in a while, but it was never like he was never a mainstay like John Stewart or something like that. John Stewart's one of the few cases of a character being, well, actually he was created in the 70s, but he's one of those few like, I don't know if you want to call him like a copy character, because he's basically just a Green Lantern like John or Hal, but but his character was different enough from Hal and the other Green Lanterns that he kind of stuck around. There was a really popular, oh wait, was it? No, that was Green Lantern and Green Arrow. I was trying to remember. There's supposed to be like a popular series of comic books that like really fleshed out John. I think it was just Green Lantern in general. Oh, this section is so cheap. Oh, and then we had to fight Cyborg Superman. Why? Oh my God. Yeah, I ran out of life. All right, I'll get back to the boss and I'll see you then. Alright, we're back at Mr. Cyborg Man himself. I found out that on the one things, I didn't have to like go back and forth between them. I could have just how's the bomb? Oh yeah, you can't use the bomb here. You could just go past the flames and keep hitting them. I thought they would hit you. That's why I didn't do it, but oh well. Never mind then. So, just thought I'd let you know. Meanwhile, far to the north in the Fortress of Solitude. What the? A regenerated Eradicator streaks towards Engine City. Yeah, he survived, so. However, the twist that will be coming will surprise you. Level 10. The Return of Superman. I wonder what happens in this episode. Nah, that's how it is usually in comics and stuff like that too, just because they kind of tell you the surprise, but you're like, oh, I got to read on how they get to that point. Yeah, what happens is, Superman fights. Okay, so Superman fights Cyborg Superman, gets beat up pretty badly, and then Eradicator pops up, and what happens is he hits him with a kryptonite, Cyborg Superman hits him with a kryptonite ray, and he shoots him into the Eradicator, who then he basically heals Superman, and Black Suit Superman is Superman. Because what happened is basically what happens is Superman went into a coma when they called it, I think in the comics they call it a solar coma, which is, but anyway, that's a way they have that Superman didn't technically die. He was just in a coma the whole time, despite everyone saying he was dead. So, yeah. So, and that's how they get around the whole Superman coming back to life and all this other stuff. So the whole idea of death being meaningless in a Superman comic is basically, yeah, this is the comic book series that really instigated that. So, yeah, they give you a first up on the first level. I guess they thought, yeah, they probably lost a lot of levels during the Cyborg coast or Cyborg City section. Actually, that part wasn't too bad. The only reason it was bad for me is because I was low on lives and whatnot. I mean, you couldn't use bombs. But anyway, yeah, Superman to do his smash the things is you have to hit the guy backwards. You can't push forward like Steel can to do it. So, oh well. Get the last of those guys. At least I'm doing a little better with Superman than I was with Steel. Oh, thank goodness. Because you can grab and pick up. But yeah, Superman comes back. So, okay, I was a bit off on how many levels there were. For some reason, I thought there were 7 or 8, but there's 10. 10 levels. Nope. Might as well just kill these War Worlders, at least until we kill enough dudes to where they don't spawn, or World Worlders don't spawn, you know, because they'll nickel and dime you to death. Ah, no! Sometimes you get lucky and, yeah, sometimes your grip will run out on them. You can only hold a guy for so long before they go, hey, stop it. That's not cool. Bombs. Could use that for the end. Yeah, I like the fact I do like the scene, like in the comics when Superman gets his powers back, you know, he gets, basically Eradicator gets absorbed into Superman. And since Eradicator is basically like a clone robot thing anyway, I mean, it doesn't for like it's not one of those like, oh man, we lost the Eradicator. It's like, well, I mean, like I say, he was kind of a clone-ish type of thing of Superman anyway, so that was kind of his duty, was to either take over or be there for Superman, you know, when he needed him. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember. The Eradicator does make a reappearance in the franchise later on, because you know, now that Superman comes back, superheroes don't stay dead anymore. So, oh well. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm really not a big fan of like making death like inconsequential, like, you know, because death is such an important thing. Like, it's supposed to have meaning. So like when a character dies in a comic or any medium, you know, like because of that, now we don't like. Now we're just like, yeah, whatever. He'll just come back later. We don't want a franchise to die because the character will stay dead. Like back before Superman came back to life, there was a couple of things that like. There were a couple of supposed rules on comics that everyone followed, like that you didn't break for the purposes of continuity and stuff like that. One was like Bucky staying dead from the Captain America comics. Find Cyborg Superman. Was it Uncle Ben doesn't come back to life, or you don't do anything with Uncle Ben, and you don't really ruin his reputation or whatever. Oh god, bomb you. Heal too. Oh right, I forgot Cyborg Superman actually uses bombs in this fight. Yeah, I forgot he does that, so. I don't think there's any reason to actually destroy yeah, can't even actually destroy him. Oh no. I think the way to get around that is to use a bomb at the same time. That even though it doesn't hurt him, it still distracts him from doing that. Take that, Cyborg Superman. You have a major crush on me, and I don't reciprocate. Level complete. You're the real thing, all right. Well done, Superman. And I do mean Superman. The one and only. And then he gets his new hairstyle. Amazing. What I've ever experienced defies description. Doomsday killed me, and the cyborg nearly destroyed the Earth. And he gets the super mullet. The Eradicator brought me back to life and full power. I should feel tired, but I don't. I'm rejuvenated in a way I've never thought possible. I have no idea what's coming up or coming next. But I know whatever it is, I'll be able to handle it better than ever. That's what Superman needs. More power. Jeez. I forgot if they gave him... I think they did give him a new ability after this. Like, to try and rejuvenate the Superman character. You know? And that's the end of the Death and Return of Superman. So, yeah, and it was designed by Blizzard Entertainment. That's still crazy to this day that Blizzard Entertainment worked on this game. Although they did work on other games similar. Well, not exactly the same. They did, like, the Lost Vikings, Blackthorn, and all this other stuff. Then, obviously, they ended up doing, like, Warcraft and StarCraft and stuff like that. So... Death and Return of Superman, a fun game. It gets a bit repetitive, but it changes up just enough by giving you new characters in semi-new locales in some cases. And those last few sections, like the missile thing and going through Cyber City to destroy the city itself. And then get one last hoorah with Superman. I think it just changes enough. And like I said, the game is beaten in a couple hours, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. So I quite enjoy this game. Although if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. But I think it's still an enjoyable experience. Obviously, it cuts out a lot of stuff from the comics itself. Although with how short this game is, they probably could have added a few more scenes. But, you know, it's a Super Nintendo. You can only have so much memory storage on it back in the day. Nowadays, they could, you know, do a whole game on that. I'm kind of surprised they never tried to I know the reason this game came out is because the Death of Superman had been out for like I think a year or two or something. It wasn't that long ago, and they were able to pump this game out in kind of like correspondence with that, because that comic series sold like I think it's I don't know if it's the #1 selling comic ever, but it's up there on sales because it was the Death of Superman. So everyone wanted to buy a copy of Death of Superman to commemorate it, which is probably why it doesn't go for much, because they printed so many copies of the dang thing. But overall, and I think if I remember the comic run being pretty solid, you know, bringing back Superman despite, you know, breaking all the rules of comics, like not bringing back to life and stuff like that. But yeah, still enjoyable for what it is. Like I said, a couple hours out of your time. You know, yeah, it does have some difficulty spikes, especially there near the middle. How many times did I die? Like 6 or 7 near the end? I'm trying to remember now. I actually lost count. I was almost thinking about making this a how many quarters, but I was like, this is technically not an arcade game, despite it being on the console and designed as an arcade game. But I wanted to leave that out. And as far as I'm aware of, they only made the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis version. There is a Superman arcade game, but I couldn't get it to work properly, at least with the current emulation setup for MAME, which is what I use for most of it. They haven't figured out how to get Superman to work on it, which is not a very good arcade game, but I thought about playing it just for fun. But I mean, there's probably a way to do it on like other systems, but I didn't want to mess with it too much. And I thought this was a good in between. Yeah, it's not a very good 4th of July game. I just played it because of Superman. So Superman, America, and all that other stuff. And I didn't really talk about 4th of July much, but there isn't really much to say about it. It's just, you know, celebration of our birth of our nation by blowing pieces of up, like I said earlier. So maybe if I played a fireworks game or something like that. But oh, what can I say? I mean, other than the story, for the most part, I like the music. And like I said, the gameplay mechanics work for what I wanted it to do. It worked, so it wasn't like, oh man, it's buggy here and all this. There was a lot of cheap stuff happening, but that's par for the course for beat 'em up. Sambo the cat, huh? Thanks for your contribution to this. I'm trying to think what else I'm about to say about this game. Well, I said a very solid game for what it is. And a nice use of the property of Superman. Yeah, and you can forego some of the weird issues like how can street thugs beat up Superman, that type of thing. Oh, Siegel and Schuster. So I was right. Jerry Siegel and Joe Schuster, yeah. Thanks for creating Superman, and thanks for Blizzard for when you were good for making great video games. And thanks for watching this game, and I'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a happy 4th of July. Once again, the world is safe. The end.